This is our interview with Godly the Ruler. See, now we don't have to do that later.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, I can hear you guys pretty well.
All right, sounds good.
Sweet. Just for starters, thank you for doing this with us.
Oh yeah, of course. This shit is awesome, man. Like I'm literally just like hanging out at home. I'm making dinner right now. Is that like cool if I'm like
Yeah, go for
all
it.
good.
Also, by the way, is this just audio or are we doing audio and video?
I have a recording, if that's all right. I mean, we wanted to post it to YouTube, but it's mostly just for the radio show, so it's most people are gonna hear the audio.
Okay, awesome. I was just wondering because I'll be like walking around, so I'll try to stay.
Oh, you're all good, yeah.
You're good. Whatever you
But
want
yeah,
to do.
yeah, dude, yeah, it's totally like it's a pleasure to be here, man. I'm excited to like just talk to you guys and see what's up.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say when we found you and just listen to your music, you've become like one of our favorite artists. We're just playing all the time.
Yeah.
It's been dope.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We actually found you. We were talking about Dennis Rodman, and we were just like, I wonder if there's any like, songs about Dennis Rodman. We looked up D-Rod, and yours was like one of the first ones that came up.
You're kidding. That's so random. That's so random. That's funny. Yeah, I love Dennis, dude. Like so very much.
So shout out The Last Dance for getting us into you, actually.
Yeah, I watched that docu-series like when it came out. That shit's awesome.
Yeah.
Very fine.
So are you a Bulls fan?
I mean, I'm from Chicago, you know, so like by default, like
yeah.
that's my home team. Like, like I have to be a Bulls fan, but like realistically, like we haven't had a great season in a while, so like.
True. Yeah, but we have Zach LaVine though. We have a future.
He goes nuts.
All right, well, that's actually a good place to get started. Just for the intro, we just wanted to talk about like your background, inspiration. So since you were from Chicago, who were your musical inspirations as a kid? Were they a lot of Chicago artists or kind of all over?
It was definitely more Chicago artists for sure, because like around when I started like making music and like I was like putting out a bunch of music on like SoundCloud throughout high school, just like, you know, just like shitting around, just figuring out like how to produce and how to like get music out. And that was around like the time like SoundCloud was like huge, like really like doing its thing.
Yeah.
And it was pretty big, like it was pretty big in Chicago because like Chance the Rapper and like Vic Mensa and like Save Money like Hurt Everybody and like and like, you know, all those like sound, like I don't want to like just be like SoundCloud Chicago people, and like Lucky, like, you know, like that shit was like taking off. And so when I was like recording like music and like just figuring out how to like be like, I don't know, just like any type of artist, I was definitely looking at a lot of like, you know, those local people in Chicago just because it was like so close to me.
Yeah. That's got to be a very cool like culture to grow up around when you're first learning to make music.
Yeah, thank God, bro. Like, thank God I was like in Chicago and not like somewhere random.
Yeah. So I read that you first started learning how to make music through YouTube tutorials. At what age did you start like watching those videos and making your own stuff?
Probably like maybe like 15 or like 16. I was a sophomore in high school. Like, yeah, like the beginning of my sophomore year in high school. I was like using like GarageBand and just, you know, just like throwing in all the like default stuff. And then I don't know, I started like working or looking at like some YouTube tutorials just to like, you know, figure out how to use the equipment that I had. And I found like a bunch of great stuff like online, just reading like articles, like reading Reddit and like fucking just watching what other people were doing and just picking up on that.
Yeah. So when you first started releasing your own music, were you nervous to put it out, or were you already pretty confident in your sound?
Ooh, ooh. I feel like I was ready to put it out just because like I mean I still like it was just like for fun. Like it's
Yeah,
always been just for fun. Um so like I was never like what am I gonna lose?
yeah.
Cause like it's just for fun. Like what the hell?
There's no there's no consequences to it at all.
Yeah, exactly. There's no consequences to it. Like but yeah, I don't know. I don't think I was ever really like nervous to put it out.
Yeah. Just a quick follow-up question. Do you think your confidence in releasing music has increased since then, or is it always just the same mindset of like this shit's all for fun?
Uh, it's still all for fun, but I was, you know, because I don't know, that's like what keeps me going anyways. Like it makes it so much easier to like do this shit if I'm just doing it for fun. But
Yeah.
I was it just changes and like the more like people are like listening and like looking is when you start to like I don't know, I was thinking about it the other week, like you start like shit, like there's people watching, like I have something to prove now,
Yeah.
like I it's tough to like think about it, but constantly like in a like headspace where I'm like I have to like prove things to like people and like there's an expectation being like made already and I'm like fuck I would hate to let two people down but
Yeah.
I would do my thing. I don't know. I'll
Yeah.
figure it
When did you start like performing for people?
out. Probably like really like realistically like booking shows and like doing like real like venue shows. Like probably end of 2019, early 2020.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, which is kind of like hey, because then like the world shut down,
Yeah.
and and then I was doing like I'm doing like a bunch of like virtual stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean even in high school, like like I was in high school, like 2014 to 2018. Um, so in like high school, like around that like time period, like when I started like making music towards the end of like my high school career, like 2017 maybe, like me and some of like my local like friends and like artists would like we would like rent out a venue and then like throw our own show and
That's
like
dope.
perform and like like we'll like book ourselves fuck it like
Yeah.
and then shows and then we'll get like 200 people to come out and fucking shut that shit down and that's how, like what we were doing.
That's dope. Were you performing at you because you went to UW Madison, right?
Yep.
Were you performing there? Like, did you have like a following at UW?
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting because this place is like a pretty small city. I mean, pretty small compared to Chicago.
Yeah.
But like if you're in the city and you're like doing some like I don't know if you're doing some hot shit, like if you're like really like pushing like shit forward in a way like people here have not like been accustomed to, like you'll get like you'll turn some heads and like people will like lock in and I don't know, I feel like that's how things have been going for me, like just kind of came through and like just been pushing it in like a way I don't think a lot of people have been doing in the
Yeah.
city too much so and I don't know, like I don't know, I don't really like look at the numbers, figure out the statistics, crunch the numbers, but I know like um the people in the city are like fucking with Godly the Ruler.
Yeah. It's dope. I mean, we're fucking with it here and we're across the
Yeah,
country.
yeah, dude. Like fucking. It was just so funny earlier today when I had to like check. I'm like, are we in the same time zone?
Yeah. I totally forgot about that. Like
You're about to have both the UWs locked down.
Yeah.
UW Madison.
Yeah. I told my homies that we were like, I was doing this like radio show thing with UW or U of Washington, and then they were like, damn, it's it's like our clone. It's the other UW. They wanted me to
Right.
let you guys know that these are their words, not mine, but they think the other UW sucks. So
That's
Damn.
fair. I mean,
Said
that's fair. You know,
bro.
my grandparents live in Wisconsin. I almost went there, but
oh
I think
wow.
it's a dope place. And then yeah, parents grew up in Chicago, so have that connection a little bit.
That's awesome.
Oh, and then I was gonna ask because with the streaming stuff, I saw you did the Woodstock like Twitch event. I was just wondering how you got
yeah.
involved with that, how that went.
Like I said, like if you're in like that was like that event was put on by Wood Music, which is like a local organization, like a student organization, like on campus, and there's people like in that organization that like I like Godly the Ruler, and
Yeah.
you know, and they've been watching what I've been doing, and there's already like a relationship there because like I'm in such close proximity to these people. And one of the I mean that's really it, honestly. It's just like people like know I'm here, and there was an opportunity to have somebody like me come onto the event, and somebody thought of me, and I was there. It was like
Yeah.
that simple, really.
That's dope. How do you this is a different question, I guess, but how do you think you've set yourself apart from other artists to make a unique sound?
I don't know. I think a lot of it is probably just like trusting my gut. Like my sound is definitely unique, but it's also like accumulation of like all the other sounds that I like and that I think are cool and I think are unique. And you know, it just becomes a melting pot, and it becomes like its own like sound and its own like
Yeah.
artistry in and of itself. So that's like always like a thing to like I guess remember. But other than that, it's just like trusting my gut. Like if and I think that's what leads to like really cool shit, because people have cool ideas, but like I think a lot of people like doubt themselves when they
Yeah.
want to do something that's like not being done in the mainstream, or like approach something in like a non-traditional way. Like people might be standoffish to that, but like that's probably some of like the coolest shit, and like
Yeah.
it's just not being done because everybody's afraid to do it. So just like literally trust your gut, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's really easy.
That's what I think is cool about music is like to an extent you can take stuff from other artists, but a lot of it is just on
Yeah.
you. And then you just gotta
Yeah,
figure it out.
really, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. Go, finish that thought.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, like I feel like that's worked out with you where you've just made your own sound and now there's a lot of music out there that's just dope. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And to talk a little bit more about your music making process, I read that you don't write any of your lyrics down before you record them. Is there something like special to you about the stream of consciousness kind of recording process? How do you feel that's easier for you?
That's like definitely one of the like if I'm having like a really good night, or if like maybe like I wrote a chorus like earlier in the week and then I just recorded it and I'm like, okay, damn, this shit sounds good, like coming out my speakers now. Like I want to write the verse, or I want to record the verse like right now, and like I'll like I'm not gonna like take the day to like, you know, like sit with a pen and paper and like write my verse. It's like we're gonna do this in like 20 minutes, like what do I want to say like right now, and then like that's the song. And
damn.
and like yeah, that's the song, like that's the bare bones, and then I'll like definitely workshop it for like, you know, couple days just to like, you know, actually get it like clear cut pristine, because what I did like beforehand was just getting the ideas out there, just like screaming, like get it out into the void, and then the song will like start to like refine itself. Like I'll start to put some more layers into it, and then like it'll all come together. But yeah, I try not to like harp too much over like a pen and paper and like really labor writing. Sometimes I will, like sometimes I'll like, you know, spend an afternoon like writing something that I really like. And sometimes I'll just take 10 minutes to just let's like what's in my head right now. Let's just get it out on paper.
So talking about that, which one of your songs do you think has taken the longest time to like write out?
Yeah, I have to think. Perhaps it would be Zion. Just because that that song like I recorded, and then I took a break from like writing it, and it was just sitting for like a week, and then I was like I really want to like finish this song, so um just spent like a couple days like really like fleshing it out in more like detail, and that was definitely it took me a while to get that done, but yeah, I think it has to be like Zion. That was like the most like shit. I have to really like sit down with like my pen and not, I mean I don't always like write pen and paper. Like I was just in like my notes app. Like I
Yeah.
really want to like get this shit like tight and like really where it needs to be, because I think this could be a good song. And it was a good song. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say the work into the writing definitely paid off. That's the like one of the ones we've been listening to the most.
Damn, thank you. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you guys like it.
And to just talk a
That's
little
all I ever want.
to just talk a little bit more about like the production side of your music. Do you produce all your own songs or do you also work with like outside producers?
I work with some outside producers and like some like, you know, like some in-house homies that are just like some like my closer friends who also make music. Like we produce tracks together. Like there's a couple tracks that I have that are coming out this summer that one of my friends, Daniel, they make music as groupthink. Um, you know, we just like got into the studio and like I came in with a melody and he like produced and like played the melody out on the guitar and stuff. So yeah, I'm usually working out working with outside producers, but I do not most, I do all of like my vocal production and like vocal arrangement and like just arranging the tracks and whatnot. So I'm definitely, I don't know, much more focused on like producing my own vocals rather than the tracks at this point.
Yeah. And I also just wanted to ask, how do you think the Madison music scene has changed the way you view and make music, if it has?
It definitely has. It's definitely what's like made like push me into like the alternative like route, like because you know like I mean like I said, just like doing shit like people don't usually do, like aside from the mainstream, like when I'm like writing or like when I'm thinking of what I want to put out, I definitely am thinking of like approaching it like in a an alternative fashion, and I think that's has a lot to do with um like being in Madison and like the people that I've met here and like the I don't know, the artist community here, like just working with some other people and listening. What I do a lot, honestly, is just listen to a lot of the music that other people are listening to.
Yeah.
It's funny. That's like one of like my favorite things to like learn about people is like what music like they're into. And coming from Chicago, it's like, you know, it's kind of tapped out. Like, you know, there's like a lot of like hometown pride. People are like
Yeah.
listening to like a lot of like local artists, but like coming, especially because I was on a college campus, like from
Yeah.
people like all over the like country. Um, and just like listening, like I'll meet somebody, I'm like, oh, like what do you listen to, like blah blah blah, shit like that, just to figure out their music sense. And people here were just like stuff I had never heard before. And it started making its way into like my phone library, which and then it started making its way into the way like I write my music. And I don't know, it's definitely like been influential, just like listening to like all this new music now.
And I think it's good that based on that question, what music have you been listening to recently? What's playing like kind of daily in your earbuds?
I've been listening to a lot of this person named Underscores. Um, they put out this album called Fishmonger. It's really good. I've listened to that a lot. Listen to a lot of AG Club.
Yeah, we love
Yeah,
it. Club.
yeah, they're dope. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of those the last two projects they put out.
The Fuck Your
Uh,
Expectations.
yeah, I love that. I love that shit. And I love that it was two-part too. Like I think that was
Yeah.
like so genius. Um, yeah, I think what they're doing is really cool right now. They have like some really good music coming out. Um, and then also been listening to some Paramore.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. I've been having like I've just been listening to like old 2007 like punk rock.
Yeah.
Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? That's about it, really. I mean, I've listened to like some other stuff here and there, but that's like what I'm listening to, like heavy.
Yeah. And I just wanted to ask one more question about your music making. I read in like a really long time ago, like Next Wave Chicago article, the author claims that you sound like
Oh wow,
the author claims that you sound like a mix between Young Pinch and Lil Skies. How do you feel about that comparison and like comparisons in general?
that is so. That is from so long ago, and I remember that. And that was I don't know. I've had like so many different like um I guess you could call them phases with like my music
Yeah.
and like what I sound like and what I've been putting out. And it's funny to think because that person said young Pinch and Lil Skies.
Yeah.
Um, that's a lot of what people were listening to in Chicago at the time. That was a lot of what I was like listening to like in high school at the time. So shoot, that's funny. But I don't think I don't think that tracks
Yeah, I don't.
much.
I thought it
I don't
was
think that
funny
tracks.
too. I think it's a different sound, but yeah.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah, that's not a true statement.
It was funny listening to like D-Rod and then reading an article where they're like, he sounds just like Young Pinch. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
That's so funny. Damn.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask because I mean we've been listening to your music and we just think I feel like it's gonna blow up, but where do you see yourself going with music in 5 years? Just for a reference.
Um, shit. Um, shit. In any capacity, I don't know. I would like to be like um working with music, like even if it's just uh like I get a nice home somewhere and I like build like a nice little like studio space where I just like work on my tracks or like work on the other artist tracks or some shit like that. Just be like I don't know, still involved with music that way, or like it could be like fuck it, like I'm just gonna go crazy and
Yeah.
like 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 really put myself on and like just take the fuck over. I'm but I'm like I'm just having fun. I'm just like
Yeah.
doing what I'm good at, doing what I like to do, and it's interesting because there's like this whole world like connected to like just music and being an artist, that like is also like it popping off and being like a celebrity, and it's like crazy to think, but like I'm really chilling with just the artistry part of it.
Yeah. Do you have any artists that you like absolutely would want to work with in the future?
um Probably like somebody maybe like Rick Rubin, like, or Kanye. Like I'm thinking like we could produce, like I said those two first because I feel like production wise we would like produce like the sound of it would just be crazy.
Yeah.
But I think like some artist who's like music that I enjoy that I think we like, I don't know, it'd be fun to see like in the future. Maybe like underscores even. I really do like their music, and I really do like, I don't know, just recording. Like I record like what I've been recording some in the last couple weeks is kind of, I don't know, it's like adjacent to that, and I think it would be cool to see what that crossover would be like. Um, Other than that, who else? I don't know. Do you guys know who 070 Shake is?
Yeah, I know who 070 Shake is.
Yeah, they're dope.
That'd be
Yeah, I would love to like do a track with them. Yeah.
Would you ever get on a Paramore track if they asked you? That'd be a pretty crazy.
Ooh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, hell yeah. I just like I play a lot of their music, and like I cover a lot of their songs, and I just like just for like fun, like in my room. But like shit, if they want to get on, like get in the studio and do some crazy shit, I would.
Yeah. Oh, and then I was gonna say, because I feel like your music just has such a good sound to mix with other people. And then we found that song "My Pride" with Derek G. And I was just
Oh
wondering,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's also one of my favorite songs in the last couple of weeks that I've been listening to. But how do you usually get in touch with the artists that you have worked with?
Well, Derek G is like, um, that's somebody that's really close to me. Like, that's my very good friend. We're like both on the UW campus. We're both from Chicago. Like, I knew Derek in Chicago before we came out to Madison, but um, that's, and yeah, he was like my roommate for 2 years. So we
Damn.
literally
Oh wow.
recorded that. Yeah, we recorded that at the crib. Like, yeah, literally, it was like fucking like it was late at night. It was like 1 a.m. and he was like, he played me the beat, and he's like come in my room, and he like played me the beat, and then I recorded my verse like then, and then I went to bed, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna put that song out like in the next couple weeks. um but yeah, other than that, there's some like other artists that, it's just like an online connection, like uh, like Twitter, Instagram. Like I just like reach out and be like, I fuck with you, what you're making. Like,
Yeah.
um, like let's, like, can I hop on a beat? Like send me some shit, stuff like that. That's
Oh,
about it.
yeah. And then another part of it that like I haven't seen that much of, like, would you go out and try, because a lot of songs are worthy of it, but would you ever go out and try to make like cool music videos with just like dope visuals? Is that any type of goal for you?
Yeah, like this summer, like this music that I've been recording like in the past couple weeks, I think sounds really awesome, and I think it would be a crime like if I didn't like record like some like cool like visuals for them, and get like some cool videos out for this like upcoming project. So I'm gonna be like spending a couple weeks like getting some like cool shit picked up. But yeah, definitely in the very near future, it's
Yeah.
gonna be like some cool visuals with me, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah. And do you see yourself staying in the Midwest, like Chicago or Madison, like with all this music? Because you have a good scene there and you're making great music. Do you see yourself just staying there, or would you move around?
Um, Whew, that's hard to. I would move around for sure. Hell yeah. Actually, that's not a hard question. I would definitely. Yeah, I'm not too like tied down to like um Midwest, even though I do love it. But I'm always excited to like go to new places and try new shit out. So I would move around a bit. I don't know exactly where to, but I would go around.
Well, if you ever want to come out to Seattle, we'll be sure to come see you
Hey,
perform. We'll bring everyone
hell
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah,
Come post up at the
yeah.
other UW.
Let's I'm trying to manifest that in the future.
All right. Do we have any other?
Oh, this was one of Zach's questions that he wrote down. He wants to know if you've ever would make a Horace Grant song.
Or just a line, because I've always noticed in rap, like there's so many lines about Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and my uncle lives in Chicago. He loves Horace Grant. He just wants to see one Horace Grant line in a rap song.
Damn. Yeah, Horace Grant does not get as much love
Yeah.
as he does as he deserves.
Underrated.
Definitely, very much so, and definitely not in rap.
Yeah.
Shit, who knows? Maybe something will rhyme with Horace Grant when I'm
That'd be crazy.
We need Horace Grant to blow up in the rap scene.
Underrated. All right. Well, I think that's everything we have for today. But
Hey,
thanks so
awesome.
much again for doing this with us. This was really fun.
Oh yeah, it was a good talk. Yeah, what are your guys' name? I don't think I caught them at the beginning.
Oh yeah, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Zach.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fuck with your hair, Charlie.
Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
He's kind of got the Dennis Rodman hair. Like,
Yeah, I fuck with it.
That's what everybody's been saying when I play basketball. I've been trying to get more rebounds just to prove it.
Yeah, dude. If you especially if you're on the court with colored hair, like they're gonna call you D-Rod like all day.
Right. If I don't get at least like 6 boards, I feel bad. I feel like I let Dennis Rodman down.
bro, I'm gonna bring the speaker out next time we play pickup and just play
It's just
D-Rod.
D-Rod on repeat.
Oh yeah.
And then I was actually gonna ask you. This is not part of the interview, but I have a friend who goes to UW now, and he like works a lot in like producing videos, and he made a bunch of like music videos for rappers in the Bay Area when he was trying to like kind of get that started up. I was just wondering if there was a chance you would want to get in touch with him, because I showed him your music and he was super excited about it.
What's their name?
His name is Carl Somerville. I think he's like a sophomore at UW right now, but he's just living
Yeah,
there.
why don't you DM me his like profile or something?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would be dope. He'd be excited about
Yeah,
it.
awesome. Yeah, I definitely want to check out their stuff. Like I said, I want to make cool like videos this summer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's made a bunch of dope ones. I
Okay.
texted him like an hour ago to see if he would like send the ones he's made just for reference, but he'll be able to show them to you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
cool.
dope.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again. We're going to head out, but great interview.
All right.
Thanks for your
Of course, man.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good to meet you, man.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Yeah, nice talking to you guys. All right. Have a good night.
You
See you,
too.
man.